All right, you guys, so in this video, we're gonna be talking about setting up teams, right? So there's a lot of reasons why you would have teams, like, or let's say that you've got a client that runs a barber shop and they've got multiple people that cut hair. Like, there's a lot of reasons why you would have a calendar that has multiple people on it, okay? Now, just really quick, I wanna remind you guys that when you are in your settings, right? First of all, if you need to add a team member or if you need to add someone for a client, basically that's under my staff, okay? So here's these two right here. Now let's say that I needed to add a staff member, and let's just put myself in here just for the example. All right, so remember that these are settings for that user. Now, when that user goes to log into a sub account, remember, they're gonna go to either app.gohighlevel.com if you're using Go High Level, or if you have branded your Go High Level account, they're gonna go to your branded Go High Level. So for instance, let's say this wasn't me. Let's say this was just an employee of mine. I would set this up. His phone number, basically password, enable signature. You know, I can create that signature for that user right here to where that goes on to all of their emails, texts, everything like that. So the other thing is user permissions. Let's say that I only wanted to allow for this user to only see stuff that I specifically assign to them, okay? You're gonna have businesses that don't want their employees seeing, obviously, their funnels, their opportunities, their dashboard. So when you click on only assigned data, that user will only have visibility on the things that you assign to them, okay? So the other thing is under user roles, right? You've got admin and user. Most people are gonna be users unless they're the owner of the business. You can set up a voicemail for them. You've got user availability, so you can actually set up their calendar as you're setting them up. And then also user calendar configuration. So remember that you basically have to create the user first, and then they can go to Go High Level, app.gohighlevel.com, and they're gonna sign in with their email, they're gonna sign in with their password, and they're going to integrate their Google Calendar, okay? So every single user essentially gets their own login. And if this was the case, so if this was me, right? So let's go ahead and save that. We're going to now see that, what did I miss? Oh, here we go. All right. So now you're going to see that we have, here's our full team, right? So under staff, this is basically team management, right? You can also, if you see right here under teams, it's going to say this moved to calendar settings, which is essentially what this is going to be right here under groups. This is the biggest thing to keep in mind, you guys, with setting up calendars, right? So when it comes to groups and teams, I am just going to highly recommend for best practices that you always set up an individual calendar per individual, and then also have their team calendar, okay? So you can have obviously a calendar that you set up for round robin, which is a grouping, right? That is basically essentially your team calendar, your sales calendar. But each individual should also have their own individual calendar, which you can do under round robin or you can do under unassigned. It's up to you. But here's why. If somebody's starting to build a relationship with one of your salespeople, you don't want them to only have a round robin calendar link to send out to them. They need their own personal calendar. So just for best practices, what I would always say is every person that you add to your business that needs a calendar, set up their own individual calendar, okay? And then you're going to set up your round robin calendar and assign all the individuals to that calendar. So that's how I would do it. It's the easiest way for your teams to actually be set up. And that way, like, honestly, high level's going to be integrating these all together. Like right now they're separate, but pretty soon, like, groups and all this are just going to be brought into one, because ultimately you can use round robin for everything. Like, essentially, if you just use a round robin calendar and only assign one user, that's their personal calendar. So what I found easiest to do is actually just utilize round robin booking and then assign who you need to it. So for instance, if Sam needed his own calendar, I'd create a round robin calendar. I'd only assign Sam to it, and now he's got his own personal calendar, right? And then when he logs in from his side of Go High Level, he's going to see that calendar. He can update his own settings, all that stuff. So that's kind of how, personally, I think the best way to do it is. And then you would have your like sales calendar, which you would assign multiple people to, and then that's on the round robin. So that's just my perspective, guys. I think that's the easiest way to do it. So yeah, get your calendars set up, and we'll see you guys in the next video.